What's up, boys and girls? Empire Steve, back with you again. Today is Tuesday, and it is the 3rd of August. So, wanted to recap my trades for the day, but first talk about the overall market, and just kind of go about, what we typically talk about, or what we're going to be talking about going forward whenever I'm able to make a video. So, as you can see, this is SPY. And this morning, SPY was looking okay. I'm going to go to the 5-minute. You can see it was not doing it. Did hold on, it's a little laggy. A little bit of downward pressure yesterday in the market between SPY and the Qs. Qs didn't looked okay. There was that big drop yesterday, and then a full almost V-shaped recovery. But today very similar. Looked a little bit bearish. Like we were up this morning. Futures were up. So I was like, okay, maybe today is going to be a good bullish day, and we'll see what kind of happens. So as you can see, futures between SPY, Q, Dow, all of them tanked right out of the market. Even Russell's, I believe, yeah. They all tanked, and then they recovered, and they recovered quite nicely. I'm not sure what the catalyst was for the recovery, or what have you, but that's the futures for you. So you can always get those. They can go one way or the other. Just out of nowhere, any kind of COVID news or just anything can really just crap on the market. So I traded on my small account. That's on my Webull account today. I don't know the exact time that I bought into these positions. The first thing I bought was snow. The reason why I played snow, because this morning everyone was kind of talking about snow. I'm in a couple different groups, chat groups, and everyone has been saying that snow, snow above above 270, 275, I think it was, could easily get to 280, and then above 280, could see upwards to like 300. So I'm like, okay. So I saw that snow was in pre-market was moving higher, and there's like not significant volume because it's a large cap stock, so I just didn't see any significant volume on it, but I could see that it was moving up. So it moves up. This is on the 1-minute, and I don't remember exactly when I got in. I basically chased, and I got lucky. And you can see I bought the 280 calls. I waited for it to pass 275. I know that much. So I probably bought in around this area. So I waited for 275. I think it was even 277 before I got in, maybe, or something like that. So I just bought one contract. I bought it at $6.30, and sold it pretty much. I don't think I was in it longer than maybe 2 minutes, if that. Could have been even shorter. And I sold it at $7. So that's a profit of $70. And then I scalped Square. Square dipped this morning. Someone's calling me. Square dipped out of the market, and I believe I played Square right around this area, because I was watching at the time. I was watching the Qs, and the Qs at the same time looked like they were recovering, a little bit of selling pressure, and then recovered. But I again got lucky on Square. I scalped it. I started to sell it once it started to look like it was going to test the 9 back down to the 9 EMA. It was one contract. I bought it at 520, and I sold it at 545. So that's just an easy $25 profit. So on my small account, I'm up $95 on the day, almost 96, I think. Yeah, so I'm happy with that. I think yesterday I made 100, and I think total, I tweeted out that I made 97 or 95. You have to go to my Twitter and find that, but I made a little bit more than I actually had posted on Twitter. So I think it was like around 130 yesterday on this account, and then 95 today. So that's pretty big for 2 days. My account's up almost $225 in 2 days. That's pretty good. I'll take that any day. I'm sure anybody would, but I did get lucky on both of these trades. I wouldn't say lucky, but I think luck was more on my side, because they were the ones that had your nice volume this morning. So on my Interactive Brokers account, I traded Amazon, and I can't. I'm not. I don't want to show you that account. It's a little bit Interactive Brokers platform is a little confusing. I'm still kind of getting acclimated to it, but I bought this morning, and I'll show you why. I was doing most of the charting on my Webull account, as you can see. I knew that if Amazon held this $3,300 range, that it potentially could break out. It was very bearish. You could see I thought about getting in around here, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to focus on Snow and Square and see what happens. You guys can see what actually happened to Square since then. Let's actually go back to Square real fast. Square basically moved up and then just looked really bearish, but it looked bearish because of the overall market. It was definitely following the Qs, and you can see that Amazon was also following the Qs. So I knew that there was this potential flag on Amazon as long as it can hold 3,300. I posted in the Discord that I do alerts in that I was going to be getting in, and then I said that I'm going to hold it as long as it can hold 3,300. Lucky for me, it got the 32.99. I got in actually at 10.18. I got in at a 33.40 call. So it was this 33.40 call. I don't have it on my watch list anymore, but a 33.40 call, because I knew that 33.40 would be a potential number that it could get back to, as long as futures were overall, as long as futures had recovered. So so at 11, I think I said 10.18, so 10.18 is right here. So I got in on this right here on this dip, and I wanted to get in early, and I could have, just because I knew that there would be. I was watching the Qs again. Let's go look at the Qs at 10.18. So here's the Qs at 10.18. Okay, and they started to move up. Right, they're above the 9 EMA, which is this green line, and above the 21 EMA, which is this red line. And Amazon actually looked good. Definitely was following it, and then I saw this bearish momentum, and I told myself, and I told the group that I'm in, that I was going to this, not in Clever. I'm in two groups. In Clever, I'm a moderator on, and I'm also in Herp Alerts, where I'm a moderator, but I mostly put my alerts in there. I don't really do them in Clever anymore, and I really don't know why. It's just hard to go between two different groups. But I might actually, if I can figure out a bot, how to get a bot to post to both, and then I might do that. But anyway, so I told the group in Herp Alerts that if it stayed above 3,300, I would hold it, and that we'll see what happens after that. Around this time, I could see the consolidation is just going sideways. I didn't really, I wasn't too worried about it. I was down, I think, at one point like $150, maybe $200 on it, but I still wasn't too worried, because it was holding the 3,300, and it did get down to 32.99. But I wouldn't consider that, like, I'm not going to sell right at 32.99. I would wait till like maybe 32.90, give it a little bit of wiggle room before I exited. But as you can see, I drew this little potential bull flag here, and it did break it, and I watched it, and then it came back down. I was like, oh, so I was like, okay, it's gonna need more time. So eventually, you can see here it's 11:30 now. Let's go look at the Qs at 11:30. So here's 11:30 on the Qs, and they same look, same bull flag look, right? So then I'm watching Amazon, and I got into these again at 10.18. I bought them for $14.53, which equals $1,453. This is one contract, and I sold my contract at 11.46. So here's 11.45. It's still, so it's above the 9 EMA. It did come back down and test the 21 EMA. At this point, I was green on them, and it wasn't like significantly green. So I wanted to see, between between the Qs. The Qs came back down and tested the 9. I was watching the Qs on my other monitor, So I knew that Amazon potentially would not bog down and sell off right here. It did test the 21, but as long as it didn't fall through the 21, I would have stayed in. So it did not fall below, and it did not close below. Sorry, as long as it did not close below the 21, I would not be concerned. So it kept going, and again I sold at 11.46. That would be right here in this candle. At that point, I was up so much that I just wanted to take profit because I knew I might have to potentially leave. So I ended up saying, screw it, you know what? I made a significant amount of money, so I'm going to go ahead and exit. And I exited at $20.21, which is 2021. So I made roughly around $530 on one contract. And you can see, had I held, holy moly, I would have made a lot more, and I can show you. So these are them now. I'm going to add them to my watch list. And now I'm like, maybe I should have held some. So yep, they got to as high as $34.25, which is equals $3,400 and $3,425. So that would have been a huge win. That would have been almost a $2,000 increase, because I bought them at $1,453, so $1,453, and could have potentially sold them at $3,400. But as you've seen in my other videos, I'm not looking for grand slams. I'm not looking for home runs. I'm just looking for first base. But so I'm happy still with $500 profit. I'll take that any day, and I'm sure any of you would take that as well. One of these days, maybe I'll gain back some confidence and play a little bit bigger size, but we're not there yet, and maybe one day. So again, just like any other video, if you guys have any questions or comments, anything you want me to go over, just let me know in the comments section. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and then turn on notifications so you can see when I'm posting new videos. So I hope you guys have a good, and girls have a good Tuesday, and maybe we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.